What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is your boy Just, J-U-S-T. That's right, you're on my channel, Just Roy 2. How we doing? It's kind of chilly out here this morning. Got me another David Hollister hat. That's why I call him. Before I let you go, can I get a kiss goodbye? But anyway, my singing is horrible, so forgive me. I want to bring up a personal topic that touched me. And what brought it on? I've been watching a show called Beyond Scared Straight about these young kids acting up, and their mom last chance to send them to like a prison or jail program where they see what they may wind up in the future. And I want to give you a little insight on me, basically, what I'm about, who I am. I was born in Joliet, Illinois, and I lost my mother at age 5 to a murder. A guy, my sister's father, was hooked on heroin, and he beat her to death and stuff. She didn't die right that moment, but I do remember bits and tabs because I was there. I tried to prevent it, and I was hurt in the due process of it. And I was trying to stop him, and he threw her down the stairs. I do remember this, and I remember my brother running out to get to the neighbors to call the police, and it was a horrific thing. I to this day it still somewhat traumatized me, because I don't speak about it. It is a painful thing, but in reference to the TV show Scared Straight, I always feel like if there's not a father in the household, things can happen. You know what I'm saying? Because you need a strong force. And why I'm relating this to a father, as my father, I do know my biological father. I'm named after him, Roy. I don't have his last name. I kept my mother's last name because my father, my biological father, wasn't relevant in my life. As my previous videos, I've talked about this family, the Burgess family, and that was my primary family, the family that I came to love and accept as mine. And I was running away from my aunts because my aunt, my mother's sister, older sister, took us in. And I think she tried her best to raise me, and I had an older brother and a younger sister. Forgive me for not mentioning that. And and different fathers. All of us have different fathers. And my mother was, I think, 25 at the time when she died from these injuries and stuff and that. And like I said, my aunt took us in, and with her kids, and she had 2 boys, so it was 5 of us, and it was a handful. You know what I'm saying? And I think she tried, but in the end, it was too much for her. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end, she sent my brother to his father, and she kept my sister because she never had a daughter and stuff and that. And my sister was just a baby anyway, so it was crazy. She tried to send me to my father, and that's why I said, like, with my father's situation, he was a very, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'm in my 40s now, and I'm gonna be real with you, my viewing, the viewers. My father, my biological father, was a very, very cold man. You know what I'm saying? And he showed no love. You know what I'm saying? I can't even commend him for even taking me in, because when he took me in, it was a very abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't given a chance to really adapt to him or figure him out, and he really didn't care about me. You know, he used to say some real harsh things. You know what I'm saying? The mental and the physical. You know what I'm saying? He would say that his dog in the backyard was more valuable than me, or you know, and then also his wife was very mean. She felt like I was going to break up their marriage. You know, and I really didn't. I just wanted to be loved, as any child wanted to be close with their parent. You know what I'm saying? I lost my mother years before that, and you know, for her to even, you know, his wife to even say that I was coming in to break up their marriage, I'm like, listen, I have nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time I was already kind of on the rebellious side of what was to come of my future. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I remember he sent me to my grandmother, and that was, if not the same of abuse, I would say more, because I had uncles. My uncles was they were so old school with it. I remember my uncle Tom Lee. He was so aggressive with his abuse. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't make nothing. I not make, but I couldn't do nothing. And you know, I mean, I remember he was used to tell me, get home before sundown. I remember one time I was running just a tad bit late, and he caught me and smacked me in my face, nose bleeding and stuff, whatnot. And it was, you know, I wound up trying to run away from Missouri. I was in Missouri, Sikeston, Missouri at that. I was trying to run away from Sikeston and make it back to Michigan, because I was so done with it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember running away. My grandmother, she was upset because the fact that I wanted to leave, and I was putting her through the stress, and then my aunts got upset. And I understand now, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but sometimes when you in a intense situation, you want to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? And that was my thing. I was trying to hitchhike, and this is back in, I think, I went to go stay with them. It was in 79, 80. Yup. And it was the 80s. He had just turned 1980. And I just, you know, it was just intense. I remember, you know, my father come to get me from my grandmother, and he was upset with me about running away. And he really, I'm thinking, okay, apparently I'm going to go back and live with my dad. No, it wasn't even that. My biological father dropped me right off at my aunt's house, then say, hey, I'll be checking on you. Dropped me off with a bag of clothes and left. And that was probably, I didn't see him until I was 19. I went down to visit him, just maybe make some type of connection. And even then, you know, it was, his attitude was like, well, what you want? And instead of him seeing the big picture as, you know, his child, his son, his first son, you know what I'm saying, trying to connect with him and stuff, but not, you know, it was like, okay, well, what you need, what you want. It was that type of relationship. You know, I remember him after a situation with my grandmother and me trying to run away from her, him telling me he didn't think I was his son anyway, and his wife was, yeah, I knew. You know, and I remember when you're a child and you go through certain things in life, you're going to remember it. You're going to remember it, especially, you know, some of the craziness. And I mean, I can only say this to my viewers. I know us, and me and my father look like spitting image twins. If I was to take, a matter of fact, I wish I could do that. Just take a picture off my Facebook of my biological father and just put it up here with, you'd be thinking we was twins. I mean, and you know, I mean, even to this day, you know, just remembering those words, that cut more than a physical, you know, abuse, because to be told that I'm not yours, or, you know, it hurts. Even as a grown man, thinking about it, and in my life, I mean, not just the things I didn't get from my biological father, just like the me being in boys and girls homes and growing up. I mean, I was after my father dropped me off, it was on and popping. The '80s was in. I started rebelling because I felt like nobody wanted me. I felt like unwanted, and the only family that loved me was the Burgess family, and their mom understood it. Alice Burgess, Mom Burgess, she understood it. She understood it, and she saw my pain. And she, even to this day, her kids, my brothers, my sisters, and them, they even tell me, like, when we was little, my mom used to tell us, like, she understood what I was going through. And I was running away. When I run away, I run to their tree. I go sit in their tree and try to sleep. And they like, Roy, come on in. You come sleep in our room. And you know what I'm saying? But that was my surrogate family. That was, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now. I'm going to be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think there's some beautiful people. And not to say I didn't have a connection with my biological. I did to a point. But it wasn't. It was more like in passing. Okay, well, this is my family, my biological family, and I'm here for right now. But the emotional love I get as the togetherness and the laughter and the closeness and the bondness was the Burgess family. And but as I got older, I kept running away from my biological family. I wind up in boys and girls homes. And that was that itself was kind of traumatic, because as a child, you ask yourself, like, how come anybody? Let me say this right. My words are getting twisted. You get to asking yourself, how come nobody wants you? And that for a long period of time, even to this day, sometimes I still ask, because even with some of my family, I would say a great majority of my family, not all of them, but a great majority, it will always be me reaching out to them, asking how everybody doing. Never, always wonder if they miss me. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I have an Aunt Phil, and I called her, and just to say, hey, how you doing? And first thing came out of her mouth, what you want? And I'm like this. This is me. I'm like this. I was just saying. I remember the time I said, I was just calling to say hi. I haven't talked to you in forever. You know what I'm saying? And she said, well, I'm busy. With my mother's side of the family, it's always been such a push. You know what I'm saying? With the relationship or the connection. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't something material like money or what they can get from you, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when my Aunt Phil did that, I told myself I'm not going to ever call her again, because I would just thought that, just by me being her sister's son, hey, how you doing? You taking care of you? Didn't get none of that. Didn't get none of that. Now, but my aunts on my biological side show me love. My uncles, now I take that back. Not all of my uncles. One uncle was a true dude. And what I mean by that, he wrote a letter to me on Christmas. I asked how I'm doing. If I called him, he would pick up and say, hey, how you doing? So I remember when I even try to reconnect with my father, my biological father. He played a big instrument in that, because I was like, say, hey, you know what? I just want to know my father. I explained that I wrote a letter. I think I either wrote a letter to my uncle Gigi, and I wrote him a long letter, and nickname Gigi, but his real name is Uncle William Lee, and my uncle and my Aunt Jean, God rest her soul, they understood it. I think basically they came to my father like, listen, Ron, that boy never had a chance. And I remember my Aunt Daisy telling me that too, that like the family, my aunts and my uncle, that one uncle kind of came to him like, listen, you know, all he wanted to know is be a part of. He never was in your life. You gave his wife and my other brother, my half brother, my half sister, a good life, and I never asked for that. I mean, I understood. I realized as I was getting older, this is the path that I had to take, and I took it. But I still always wanted that connection with my biological father, and I tried, and at the end of the day, it you know, it didn't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? To this day, and now that I'm older, it's really, I mean, I have a love for him, but it's more like, okay, he's my father type of love. It ain't like, okay, let me call him up. I don't have that desire like I used to. And again, like I was saying about my, you know, my uncles and my aunts and stuff, whatnot. They on my father's side, my aunts and uncles, especially my Aunt Daisy, God rest her soul. She was my mother's best friend, and they really played a part of me being connected with them and stuff, whatnot, because they understood where I came from and what I've been through and stuff, whatnot, and you know, the reason why I'm talking about this, because, you know, there's people out there that have kids or I put it like this, are having kids is not part, you know, not being a part of their lives. And I say this to any young man, any man, period. Don't have kids if you're not going to be part of their lives. You know what I'm saying? Even with my situation, I mean, it's like my wife, I call her my wife. We basically divorced. But when you got kids in it, you have to make sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That's just real. I love my kids. I'm not perfect. My kids will tell you. My kids will tell you, man, he's mean. But I would say this. I love my kids with all my heart. I would never want my kids to go through what I went through. I want so much better and so much more for them. I struggle today. I'm never sure about if I'm making the right decision. But all I know is that, hey, I love my kids. And yes, sometimes I am tough because, you know, their mom is like, okay, she's so sweet and nice, and me, I'm a provider, but my thing is like this: if I tell you to do something, do it. My kids got it badass, wanted to talk back, and you know, now when I get home and get the kids, they do everything I ask, but when their mom come home. Oh, they like, we got that freedom, and I'm like, nope, and they use it. That was saying, you know, certain things of traits you used to do as a child, you see in your children. That's what I see in mine. They play that role just enough. Okay, if we can make it just to when mom get home, then we free. I'm like, yeah. You gonna keep on being good. You gonna listen, clean the rooms and stuff. But I think I'm a good dad. I think I'm a better dad than my biological father, because not only am I, you know, he had 2 kids with his wife, but he had like multiple kids by other ladies. From what I've heard, my dad got like up to close to 10 kids. I've met, well, there's Rico, Octavia, Chantel, no, Sandra, heard about another brother. That's 5 right there. I've heard about another sister, another brother. That's 7 just from I heard of. But even my father, man, he's like, you know, if all my kids were to come together, this house would be rocking. I'm like, and you pride yourself on that, you know. I remember my sister. I've connected with one of my siblings from you know, not through his wife, but through another relationship he had, and You know, she was telling me how she took him to court and sued him. And because my father, he didn't go through the court system. And she got him for like $89,000. And I said, you know what? I told her like this, I'm not mad at you. I wish you could have got more. Because I can honestly say, and it really ain't about the money part for me, just the part of being there. You know, this man worked for General Motors for over 30 years, retired from it. I think he worked for 35, about that, retired from it, and didn't do nothing besides, you know, for his kids that he raised. But yeah, you know, I told my sister Sandra, I was like, I'll commend you, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got what he deserved. You know, he took out his money. He was hurt by that because he had got hurt on a motorcycle, and he won a lawsuit. And I think he got like 90,000, maybe 100,000. That money went straight to her. I was like, you go ahead, sis. But the point I'm trying to make to you guys out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, watching them shows, you know, Beyond Scared Straight, and seeing young men's, or women's, young daughters, young sons out there, you know, wilding out. This is a part because we as fathers are not there. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it is hard. And then, you know, the person you slept with may not be your compatible mate. But the point is, you have a child. Be there for your child. Then also, I will say this also. This is my biggest fear. And y'all can agree and comment in my box right here and give me your personal thought. My biggest fear, because I got brothers and sisters I don't know of. This is my biggest fear. They having kids and my kids meeting one of their kids. You know what I'm saying? You never know. America is not that big, all right? I mean, just like, you see talk shows like this, oh, you know, and the mom, I had a suspicious, but I wasn't sure. I don't want none of that shit. I don't want to be on a talk show 20 years or 40 years down the road, and my kid might be married to, they have cousins or something like that. Hell no. You never know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I've heard crazy shit like that, you know? And that's one of my biggest fears because, you know, and that's one reason why I keep in touch with both sides of my family because, you know who their kids is and always ask, like, who's your family? Where you're from? You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. You know what I'm saying? If I can reach one person and they understand what I'm trying to explain, then hey, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you guys comment in my box and tell me what you guys think about what I just spoke about and stuff or not. Do you know anybody or have you been through a similar situation like me? Give me your thoughts and ideas, all right? Don't be scared to comment. Click and subscribe and like, all right? You guys, you stay beautiful. Peace. This is Just.